Mercedes-Benz is on an EV tear right now, where the likes of Acura and Alfa Romeo are yet to put an electric vehicle on the road. Benz has got 6 and counting when you include this all-new EQE sedan. At the heart of the EQE 500 are two motors that combine to deliver a welcome all-wheel drive extension, along with 402 horsepower and 633 pound-feet of torque. These numbers transform the EQE into a gentle giant that's seriously quick whenever needed, but it also prowls suburbia in a near-silent manner when you're on the way to the theatre. The electric motors get their juice from a 90.6 kilowatt-hour battery that delivers a posted driving range of 418 kilometers. During the test, the distance to empty routinely averaged around 380k, so it delivers as billed. It takes 32 minutes to charge from 10 to 80% using a DC fast charger and 9.5 hours to do the same thing when plugged into a level 2 outlet. Where the EQE misses out is the regen braking strategy. The modes include none, normal and strong. The problem is, even when in strong, the EQE is not a one-pedal drive, as the regen backs off at about 10k, so the driver ends up having to reach for the brake pedal. The alternative is intelligent regen. It uses a slew of sensors and navigation information to determine the right amount of regen, or that's the theory. It works on an open road, but not so much in the city. A proper one-pedal drive would be very welcome. Please and thank you. Now this EQE is very fast, 4.7 seconds to 100k. Now that will be enough for most people, but you know, sometimes enough is never quite enough. That's where the AMG comes in, 677 horsepower and 3.3 seconds. Cue the silly grin. Dynamically, the EQE 500 is properly sorted. It uses a fully independent coil spring suspension and sharp steering setup. It comes together to the point where the EQE darts into a corner with laser-like precision. Part of the reason boils down to the fact that it includes four-wheel steering. At slow speeds, the action chops the turning circle to that of a C-Class, so it's a cinch to park. At speeds over 60 kilometers an hour, it really sharpens the response and brings wonderful precision. It also does a masterful job of hiding the EQE's heavy 2,475 kilogram curb weight. In the end, the setup instills the confidence needed to explore the EQE's considerable limits, yet it makes for a very easy city drive. Sadly, the all-wheel steering setup is a $1,300 option, and this on a car with a $95,000 starting price. What is wrong with that picture? Now Mercedes-Benz don't want you lifting this hood. That's best left for a trained technician because there's a lot of, well, heart-stopping stuff under there. So how do you do something very simple like fill up the washer fluid? Now on this EQE, it's as simple as popping the door and filling it up. That is easier than a regular car. Mind you, I bet the workaround to do that costs them a bloody packet. The EQE's interior is beautifully crafted with body-hugging front seats, enough space for 2 adults in the rear seat, and a 430-litre trunk complete with split folding rear seats. The layout, well, it's first class all the way. The 12.3-inch instrumentation is clean, clear and reconfigurable, and it's a highlight in its own right. However, it's the next-gen MBUX infotainment system that really stands out. The 12.8-inch multimedia screen is the highlight, and it's crystal clear. It adopts a zero-layer strategy, so there's no need to delve into sub-menus for any of the key infotainment, comfort or vehicle functions. Yes, it is intimidating at first, but it proved to be surprisingly easy to live with, and more importantly, use. Part of the simplicity boils down to the fact it's supported by a voice recognition system that gets plain language. Simply say, "Hey Mercedes, I'm cold," and it cranks up the heat. The issue is, while there are 3 ways of adjusting the audio volume, not one of them works as well as a good old-fashioned knob. 2 of them use tiny capacitive touch points. The on-screen slider is large, but the driver needs eyes to operate it accurately. You'd think the powers that be would have learned a lesson from Honda. Apparently not. Well, the EQS and this new EQE have a lot in common, they are in fact worlds apart. The EQS, well, it's a pure opulent boulevardier. This thing, on the other hand, it's got more than its fair share of luxury, but it's also a driver's car that's an enormous amount of fun. And don't forget the AMG that's coming. I'm Graham Fletcher for Driving.ca.